She can ask more questions this one. Go ahead.
I have some good questions, I promise.
You do. You were very nice today. Go ahead.
You talked to President el-Sisi, and you spoke about in that room how Egypt has so little crime, and you said it's all about leadership. You talked about...
Well, they're very strong on crime.
You talked about some of the governors.
You wouldn't believe how strong, but they are very strong, but they don't have the kind of crime. They don't have the violent, they may have other kinds of crime, but they're violent crime. You can actually walk down a park and not get mugged or hit over the head with a baseball.
Do you want to see some U.S. governors be more like Egypt?
No, I want it to be stronger and tougher and not allow us to have record-breaking crime in Chicago and different places. I want them to admit they have crime. So there were 4,000 shootings in Chicago, murders over a fairly short period of time, meaning like a year and a half, I think, 4,000 murders. Many thousands of you're hit by a bullet but don't die. I want him to say we have a problem. Could Trump bring in the troops and solve the problem like I did in D.C., like I'm doing in Memphis? Have you seen the crimes way down in Memphis, and we've only been there 7 days? Way down.
The courts have been standing in their way here.
They have
held
been.
Up.
Well,
Are
the
you
lower
thinking about
courts have.
using the Insurrection Act?
The lower, well, I could use it. If I wanted to, I could use it. Look, that's a very simple answer. I'm allowed to use the Insurrection Act. In fact, that was on Stephanopoulos today, his Sloppodopoulos show. They asked Sloppy Chris Christie about the Insurrection Act. He said, well, if you're talking about the Insurrection Act, he's got the absolute right to use that. And he said a couple of things that were good. He said 50% of the presidents that served in office have used the Insurrection Act. And the Insurrection Act, according to all of them, said it can't even be challenged. I don't have to go there yet because I'm winning on appeal. You know, you're right. We're losing with radical left judges, generally, radical left judges, and we're winning on appeal. So we'll see what happens.
I'll be speaking to Governor J.B. Pritzker tomorrow. Do you have any messages or questions for him?
Well, I think he should beg for help because he's running a bad operation. He's letting people be killed in his city because he doesn't want in Chicago. And I love Chicago. Chicago can be a great city again, and very quickly. I would have Chicago cleaned out, the criminals removed, we would remove them. You know, in D.C. we took out 1,700 career criminals, hard-line criminals. That's why it's so good right now. D.C.'s setting records the other way. It's never been so safe. And the restaurants have never done better business. They're opening up new restaurants. They were closing restaurants, now they're opening new restaurants. I can do the same thing on a larger scale in Chicago. And Pritzker should ask me to do it. But when you mention insurrection, I mean, you were the one that mentioned, one of you mentioned, Insurrection Act. I mean, I could do that. And many presidents have.
Do you have an update on...
50%, Katie, 50% of the presidents have used the insurrection because they don't want to go through this stuff where somebody said there's no crime and 4,000 people got shot. You know, right?
Maybe you'll have to use it.
You don't have to convince because she tends to be on the conservative side.
Do you have an update on the Schumer shutdown and Democrats still continuing?